BTC 114K 1 day before FOMC. So we got a lot to talk about here because we got to be prepped for volatility and we have to have a plan up and down. And I've got some alts that could be some good performers here leading into tomorrow. So let's go. Do I actually have to say it? I mean, you must know what I'm going to say.
What's that?
You must know what I'm going to say. He doesn't even know what I'm going to say. Guys, don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. How's that, James? Do you want me to do that?
Okay.
Are you happy with that? Okay.
I should have known.
You should have known. Gray shirt today. Disappointing.
𝗨𝗨𝗪 AF.
Well, I guarantee you what, guys, one thing today. You're going to get dicked around for 2 days. They're going to chop you up. They're going to chop you down. That is my guarantee. Let's hear from the muscles. It is Tuesday. Muscles in the house, obviously. There he is. How's your choppage at the moment? What is your sentiment into FOMC, sir?
Yeah, exactly like you said, mess you about. Long up, long down. It's just going to really mess you around. So for me, I'm mostly short in the market still from Asia on Monday. And the shorts are printing currently right now, but I will scalp long and I will be swing short for now.
Look, one thing's for sure, guys, we are going to have tons of fun, but like you can obviously get chopped up here, especially if your stops are too tight and you're not playing the big zones. So today, I just want you guys to focus on some of these bull zones and some of these rejection zones, because I guarantee you they're going to wick us, they're going to pump us, and they're going to do it more than once, and you need to be well prepped. Okay, so if you've ever wanted a hedging strategy, now is probably a great time if you haven't done it previously. Okay, and I see Crypto JN6BF says, Trader J, I'm your biggest fan. Get out those guns. Get out those guns. Okay, let's talk Trump. We sent that thing to practically zero yesterday. I was very satisfied with the results at the end. We're going to go through that chart as well. And that was part of our 4-hour heat map shitcoin casino. So we nailed that Trump one. I do have 2 potential victims for you guys today as well. And look at 𝗏. Is it time to be short 𝗏 on that news? So I have started trickling around in a little shorty here on 𝗏. I've got the chart for you guys. And Square George says, wow, 𝗏 finally moved. Well, I think they had their ETF coming around. And is it time at resistance now with Litecoin? Is it time for these things to fall over? Now, is JR talking about flexing muscles, or is he talking about an actual shitcoin? I'm guessing he's talking about. I think
he wants to see Jay's guns. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's asking for.
Okay, well, we'll get them out. We'll get them out with special permission. Okay, let's get into Bitcoin here. And let's just make sure we're on the same page. And then, James, just in terms of my sound, does it sound correct to you? I feel like I'm getting a little bit of feedback here at the moment into my ears. Let me know if that sounds okay.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Okay, fine. All problems solved. 𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗏 sorted out. Okay, let's get into BTC. Let's talk about what is going on. So we've had a beautiful pump again today, and the games have already started. So what have they done? They've pumped us into our danger zone for the second day in a row. Look at that, 116.5. That is our big one. It's our 618. We've also got quite a big order block sitting over there. Look at that. So big rejection zone here for BTC. So nothing wrong with guys shorting BTC up here. It makes a ton of sense at the moment in terms of that pump. It's got quite a big macro 618, order blocks, all these types of things. So what happens next? What is the current plan? Now, we know we've got FOMC tomorrow, so all games are possible. And I want you guys to be able to be reactive on certain zones. And I don't want you to be married to any particular direction. I just want you guys to be able to play the levels in front of you. Now, leading into FOMC, we can expect pumps, we can expect dumps. Again, we can't call exactly what games they're going to play. All we know is that they are actually going to play games. So if we do get a little bit of weakness here for BTC leading into tomorrow, it's going to be an opportunity for me. I believe any hard sell-offs into this FOMC is going to be a bullish opportunity. And what I don't really want to see lost tomorrow is this local bull zone. Now, this goes all the way down to 111,400, give or take. And coincidentally, that is the bottom of the CME gap that you see half of X talking about at the moment. So that CME gap is sitting there currently. So if, for example, there is some renewed pressure and they start dipping BTC, which funnily enough, it's hardly moved over the last couple of days relative to altcoins. If they decide to drop BTC, that is a big zone for me. This 0.5, 111K, give or take that region over here makes a lot of sense. And you know what? For good measure, if they do drop it down here, here's your weekend low waiting for you. So why won't they come and finish the job? Okay, we will deal with that in the Chart Hackers Discord later on today or tomorrow, as in when or if this actually does happen. Okay, now remember the sentiment, and we covered this yesterday. If everybody is screaming about a certain event or a certain thing happening, for example, the CME gap, the likelihood of that happening starts, in my view, just starts becoming slightly less and less. But that is a big zone for me. And if we do drop in there, we're looking for longs. Okay, we do have a little bit of backup lower down, and we'll discuss these levels if we need to. But just touching on a couple of things here, I've got 109,900 and I've got my 200-day at 108.9. Now, hopefully we're not going to need those, but those are your protection levels to the downside. Now, if the market starts ripping, and again, we can't decide what happens next, but if it starts pumping through and blowing through these areas, the big one for me is this 119.5 into 121. That is going to be the next big rejection zone. And for me, if we start ripping into this tomorrow, into that FOMC, it's probably even going to be a short opportunity, regardless of the news that they come out with. Okay, regardless of what happens, I do expect a pump into there to get flushed out a little bit as well. And I see 𝗏𝗆 is in the house. She says, "Morning, hacker family." Okay, so good to have Heather in the house here with us. Let's get into some news. Let's see what's going down, because there's things happening at the moment with Japan and the US as well. And I always get this ad. What is this? Okay, so let's talk fear and greed. We're sitting at 50, so pretty much where we were yesterday. Let's talk October, 1.6% up. So everybody who screened October is 100% correct at the moment. They've got a couple of days left, and maybe with some good FOMC news, you might find October finishes 10% up. I mean, it could really start pumping. Where you on October, sir? Where's your
October?
thought?
I'm just waiting until the speech is done tomorrow. I've done this multiple times where I decided to trade before FOMC. Every time it's a mistake. I've closed all trades at the moment, and I'm going to wait like a good boy and be responsible here. Mark my levels, set my alerts, and wait until the speech. We'll see
So guys, okay, I mean, that is pretty responsible, and that is a disciplined trader over there. He's keeping his discipline. Now, what I like to do is I like to obviously play the big zones, and knowing that these market makers are coming for me. I know they want to play gains, and we got to play these big areas. So if you want to, there's two fences. Obviously, you can sit on the sidelines and you can watch the show, or you can be involved in the drama. Okay, and if you are involved in the drama, the best thing you can do for yourself is dial down the position size and have much bigger stops, and really just focus on the hot zones that I'm giving you. Don't trade the noise in between the areas. That is actually going to just cost you a little bit more money. Okay, so rather just be patient with these things. And I mean, look, trading the FOMC is not for everyone, but we're going to be doing it tomorrow night live. Me, Sheldon, DJ, and Dave, we're going to live trade the FOMC. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, and we're going to call it the Banter Royale again. And we're going to scalp $1,000 in our Gravity account. So it's going to be quite fun. And I mean, it's definitely something you guys want to watch, okay? And Evil says James is allergic to making money. I think James is allergic to lickies. I think that's the main thing. Now, guys, don't forget, reminder, my indicators are finally available for everybody to buy. Now, they used to be available through the school, the accelerator school. And they obviously are still available there, and that is going to help you unlock access and do the accelerator course and all of those things. But now you can have access to it via the show for $69, or you can have access to it if you are a Chart Hacker member for $49. So if you are a member of Chart Hackers in the Discord, go to the Discord. There is a deal there for you for $49. If you are not a Chart Hackers member, here it is for $69 a month. Okay, so don't forget all the indicators you see me using, well, particularly the oscillator, the order blocks, and some of the ones that our team are using within the Hackers Discord are available there now for you guys. Okay, let's talk lickies. Let's see what the story is. 300 million. We know this is obviously relatively choppy. So we did go through quite a long phase where James and I were looking at these lickies, and they were 70 million, 80 million. It was pretty boring out there in terms of the chop. And you can see ever since that capitulation event on the 10th of October, we've had pretty strong numbers out of this. And I'm expecting this to carry on. And tomorrow, I have no doubt we are going to start pushing close to, say, 800, maybe a billy tomorrow, around those FOMC numbers. Okay, so something to look forward to. And what used to scare us? I mean, God, I was scared of this thing. My God, were you scared of this thing, Jay? Were you scared of that?
For sure.
That was an aggressive weapon, wasn't it? You
it was for sure.
yourself. Now, I mean, this scares us. Oh, I mean, not really the chart
100%.
hangers, because we like a bit of shorts. James, did this scare you, or were they
Yes,
well behaved in the US?
Me and
Did
my
they not
brothers, there's
compete
4
for
of
them?
us. We're all huge human beings. My mother used to use the wooden spoons, but we found out you put the fist behind, it'll crack over your knuckles and save your ass. So she went out to the local woodworkers and had a big custom-made beating club for us.
Solid.
Similar to
solid,
a rolling pin.
Okay, good. So we've all experienced the rolling pin. Guys, let us know in the chats who else experienced the rolling pin. Probably if you our age, you probably experienced the rolling pin. If you're a little bit younger, I don't think we're allowed to do that. Okay, let us know. And Berner says, who isn't scared of that? Those that don't know aren't scared of that. Okay, Jim Cramer. Now this is fucking scary. He says the market will explode if interest rates go lower. So we know automatically we're going to get flushed out and rinsed if they announce a rate cut. Okay, now I think everybody is expecting a 25 basis point rate cut. I don't know, it's possible. Let's see what happens. Ryan Dietrich says the past 21 times the Fed cut interest rates with the S&P within 2% of all-time highs, like we probably see on Wednesday, stocks were higher a year later 21 times. Okay, so again, if you want to roll the dice on something boring and be long the S&P, a lot of the time you're actually going to end up on top. Okay, so something very simple. There's a hack. Even if you want to make 1 or 2%, you can see the stats here as to what's going on. It's not bad. The worst was about 2.6%, and we've had some very good numbers here. Look at that, 21% in 24. We had 21% 96. There's been some pretty good numbers here. So S&P, as you know, it always seems to be a safe bet. It's just a grinder over time. Now, this is big news. Trump says Japan is investing $550 billion into the United States. James, do you know anything about the current situation?
Well,
how did this come about?
They signed a bunch of trade deals, and that's very, very friendly between the two leaders. And so I think that's part of the price action we've had, is lots of good trade news there from Japan. Yumi's in the chat. She's Japanese, and she says she loves Trump and that he loves Japan, and that everything is fantastic between the two.
Sounds like a win to me. Sounds like an absolute win. And how's this headline over here? Representative Ro Khanna has introduced legislation to ban the president, his family, members of Congress, and all elected officials from trading crypto or stocks.
Never going to pass, but nice idea.
Never gonna pass, but a nice effort, sir. But yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things that they just look. I can't see this happening, but as you guys know, I mean, there's always been suspicions about insider trading with these politicians and things like that, and at least they're having a crack here, and we don't have to watch the video. You know the story, what's going on, and it's almost time for my favorite stat of the year, says Ryan Dietrich. October 28th is the best day of the year for the S&P on average. Okay, and it's also his birthday. Isn't that sweet? But S&P nice today, 0.5% up on average, the best performing day of the year. That is actually unreal at the moment.
Today, there's a bunch of earnings coming in, right? Apple being one of them, I believe. And I saw yesterday or the day before, Pelosi dumped a ton of Apple stock. So I don't know what she knows ahead of earnings, but she's got a great track record.
She's an excellent trader. Now, here's the S&P exploded out yesterday. We closed that long the top, and maybe something we're going to regret. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, maybe we pussied out a little bit there too early, but we'll see. Big support now for the S&P. 6,770, looking pretty good to me in that type of zone. Now, let's talk about these earnings. Did anyone realize that on Wednesday, we have an FOMC meeting to discuss the future of interest rates in the US, and 2 hours later, Meta, Google, Microsoft, all reporting earnings at the same time. And this is a good point. Like, imagine the situation if, like, FOMC is dovish and these guys beat earnings. I mean, we're going to have a pump for 2 days. Okay. Imagine the opposite.
Right. And maybe that's already priced in and they're going to dump all of it on us.
I mean, look, that's why tomorrow is going to be so exciting. And then Amazon is reporting earnings on Thursday, the day after the FOMC. And these guys have already cut, or they're about to cut 30,000 jobs at the moment. But I see it hasn't really affected the price. So Amazon's on Thursday, the earnings, as far as I understand. Yes. No, is it today?
Well, that should increase their earnings, if nothing else. They're cutting their overhead drastically. 30,000 jobs gone today, 600,000 to be cut.
Oh, yes.
Within the next year.
Earnings are coming on Thursday. They've announced the job cuts now. It's interesting that they're doing it before, I don't know, maybe some degree of protection here. But if you want to watch this thing, you can see there's a giant double top on the weekly. It doesn't mean it has to play out, but there's a giant double top. So in terms of bounce areas, that is starting to look quite interesting for me on this Amazon. Again, we'll track it as we go. If we do get some kind of sell-off here, we'll monitor it. And tomorrow is very critical. Okay, every day is the most critical day in crypto if we are day trading and scalping and things like that. Just ask Muscles over here. I mean, he knows exactly what we're talking.
It's crucial. Every day is crucial.
Today is the most crucial day until tomorrow, guys. Just remember. Exactly. And we'll always find a reason for it to be crucial. And Meta earnings coming out tomorrow as well, and these are my ping pong zones, so I'm not picking a side just yet. I'm happy to play the earnings casino maybe late tomorrow if we're getting a move, but right now Meta for me 730, 715 probably long, and 790 probably a nice short in those areas, especially if we gap up or down. And Matt says it's not moving the Amazon price because of the heels. What was it? Because of
AI investments.
Okay,
right.
Okay. And PMG George, why is Google or YouTube doxing everyone again? What's going on here? I mean, all these
they've done. This is permanent. I think it's something to do with privacy and this and that. And I think this is here from now on.
I prefer calling PMG Roger Anderson 9426. I prefer calling him PMG George. I mean, personally, you know what I mean? And let's see if they can fix this dog shit. Okay. And then in terms of the current longs, I'm in here's Circle at the moment. I closed the gold short yesterday. We closed the S&P long. And what have I got left? We got Netflix, which is literally hanging by an absolute ball here at the moment. And we've got Circle, which is still a little bit green. And that is obviously going to be tied into some bullish crypto news. And hopefully that is going to be bullish FOMC news. Otherwise, we are going to zero on Circle. Okay. And Marek says he forgot to buy the top of Amazon. And this is not looking good for me, this Netflix. I must say, I'm starting to lose faith in the reversal. Now I'm getting mixed signals for this Netflix because I'm watching the daily, and this daily is now printing snake eyes for me, and it's starting to make me feel like we need to get a reversal. And you can see the last couple of times we have printed these daily reversal signs on Netflix, we did get moves to the upside. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, that was a rinse. Okay, wait, let's highlight the rinse. There's a rinse over there. Bang. Okay, there was a rinse there, a little rinse, not bad, and then a pump. And then we had another one here on the 6th of October. We had a nice pump there. Okay, you can see that one gave us some nice upside. So a pretty good hit rate on these daily reversals. But look, I'm hanging on. If we start closing below this region, I'm going to have to start cutting this thing because I don't necessarily want to enjoy the ride all the way down if I'm sitting in a long. Okay, and that's another 7% to the next big zone for me on Netflix. So those of you that are bearish on Netflix, if you want to have a go, you know how much I talk about this 200-day moving average. Interestingly, we have closed below the 200-day moving average. So you probably have an easy short on BTCC if you want to try it with a very simple exit plan. Just remember, any FOMC things tomorrow could gap up markets up or down, so it could be pretty spicy. But in terms of those of you who want to try a short, what do we got? 1124 is a decent exit plan. Close above that could send you a little bit lower there for those of you who want to have a crack on BTCC on a Netflix short. Okay, so good luck with that. Then in terms of gold, you can see the de-risk seems to be starting here. Gold is starting to push a little bit higher at the moment. I've got a big long zone here for me on gold, 3.7 to 3.8, making sense to me a little bit lower down, and just waiting for this oscillator to give us a little reset. So we kind of almost there. I think it just needs a bit more time. So I'm just going to wait and let it dance around a little bit. Let's see what FOMC does. But in terms of gold, yeah, I'm loving this 3.7, 3.8 for a nice swing play, maybe another 8%, maybe a 10% or something along those lines. And Abe, not Lincoln, says the current dump has me mildly optimistic for tomorrow. Okay, and look, it's still early, okay? It's a young puppy leading into FOMC. I think we got to let these things play out. Guys, just remember, like, it's going to be volatile. It's going to be volatile. So we're going to give you zones. Jay's got a couple of setups for you guys today as well. We're going to give you some areas. Play safe, small size. When there's momentum later on FOMC or whatever, then we can start ramping things up. But right now, just save your dry powder as much as you can. And Dan wants to send XRP lower. I mean, I'm a fan. I must say, I'm a fan of sending XRP lower. BTC higher time frame levels, you can see 115, 118. 121. Okay, higher time frame, no changes here. And Abe says, let me hope. He wants some hope. We've got some hope here. Just be patient. FOMC. If we dump into it hard, guys, we're going to look for these longs. We're going to look for these bounces. Okay, let's go. Let's get into some of these alts. Let's get into some of these the big news here. But most importantly, this was 𝗫𝗏𝗃𝗃. He's back in the mix. Now, he's generally quite bearish, other than his blow off top call that he's been talking about the last while. And he's saying we are possibly now in alt season with the ETH phase, okay? And it'll probably take another 8 to 10 weeks. He's looking for a blow off top in the market. So is the FOMC going to be the catalyst? Are they going to fire it up, give us some kind of Santa rally leading into December? Are we going to have a ton of fun? We're going to have to wait and see. But he's been calling this sort of blow off top for the last while. And tomorrow, obviously, it's going to be a massive day. We're going to get nice guidance from Uncle Jerome there. He's going to tell us if we're going to get sent to zero or we're going to get sent to Valhalla. It's going to be that simple. And some of our altcoin markers, guys, you can see BTC dominance bouncing off support at the moment. You can see that. So obviously, when we hit these support zones, we just exercise a little bit of caution. And then when we hit the resistance zones, then we can start looking for a little bit of extra momentum on the alt, so we can start longing alts and doing those things versus BTC. Okay, so let it bounce. If we do push up 60.1, looks like the first big zone here for these alts where we can get some kind of reversal, and that will give us a nice double top here on dominance, and then maybe a little bit more downside here. Who knows what tomorrow is going to give us? Okay, and every day I ask about AV&T. Can you chart it? Yes, Huddy, I've got a special guest here who's going to chart it. And Jay, can you chart this AV&T for us there?
The Avantis thing, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think Avantis, that's the one. Okay, so we're gonna get that going there for you, sir. Let's get it done, guys. Remember, like the interaction in the chats, we don't see all of the messages. So some of you might think we're ignoring you. We're not ignoring you. We're pulling up chats as we go along, and we're trying to pick out a couple of things. So just keep talking to me, and there you go. We're gonna get your AV&T, and we'll do what we can. Obviously, the easiest way for you guys to do it is for when the show is over, you go into the show. So when the show is done, then you leave your comment of what tokens you want me to look at. And it's very easy for me then to go to the comments after the show, select a few tokens, and then the next day I can chart these things. Obviously, if you're in Chart Hackers, you can tag me or the team, and you're generally going to get a response in there. Okay. And please don't ignore my Brett and 𝗏𝗏. I've got Brett today, sir. Okay, hopefully I'm not getting liquidated on Brett at the moment. Okay, because I am sitting in a Brett long. And James, is it going down? Is it going down? Do I need to be worried? Oh, he doesn't know yet. Okay. Special request, always welcome in the channel. Guys, special request, as long as it's for a chart, not for Jay's muscles. You know what I mean? But unless he's willing to share the guns, you never know. And when cute girls merch, guys, girls, we've got some coming. Yeah, we're working on really cool stuff for the ladies. Okay, it is on its way. It's coming for you. Dylan is so freaking cool. Now you guys are just flirting with me. Now you guys are just looking for my attention. Okay, so USDT dominance. Let's pay attention to this one, guys. Okay, so what happens to the market when it drops into a big support zone? This is where we can feel a little bit of pain. So you can see this is a typical support zone on USDT dominance. What happens here? Everything pumps, then it hits the bounce zone, and then it can give you a small bounce or even a big bounce. And what we know for certain is that we're going to get chopped in the next 2 days. So this bounce, I would say, is as expected for now. And you can see the game plan here. Every time we drop into the support zone, you need to be a little bit careful with your alts. If we bleed a little bit lower, that is going to be your next big danger zone at 4.44. So right now, 4.67 down to say 4.63 is your big danger zone. Every time we drop in there, you've got to be careful with your alts. If they blow you down lower, 4.44. Now, who else keeps saying 6.7? Do you guys know what that is? Have you guys heard what 6.7 is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Where's he going?
I saw something about something popped up on I don't know, Twitter or something saying, oh, the 6.7, all the kids are talking about. Don't worry, it's not bad. I don't know what the hell it means. They just said, don't worry, parents, it's
They
not
won't
bad.
tell me. The children won't tell me. They won't tell me what it means. They just shout it at me all the time. Okay, let's go into the 4-hour RSI casino. Let's see what's going down. Yeah, we got something blowing up here called 𝗵𝗴 at the moment. Let's just reset this thing. Let's just see where we are. And oh my God, this 𝗵𝗴 and PHB. So what we like to do here, and this has been keeping us very nicely entertained over the last while, is we look for some victims every single day. Yesterday we got Trump. That was a nice short there for us. And today we're looking at PHB and 𝗵𝗴. They look to be exploding. Now, earlier today, I was looking at OL, and that seems to have run out a little bit of steam. So we're going to take a look at this one. But that Trump yesterday, who got a bit of Trump? Hey, that really respected those levels. I think we had a stop loss at 808 or something, and it pumped it to just under that region. So that Trump one was a little banger. And let's start with 𝗵𝗴. This thing is blowing up. And what are we looking at here? This thing is so overbought. So we're looking for the final explosion. And if you guys want to have a go here, for me, this is looking like the simplest area if we do pop through. So 0.166, let it explode through that region. We're going to look for something like this. So a little pop through that, the 50-day MA, a little wick up into that zone, and then hopefully a sharp dip to the downside. Now, remember, if you want to play the shitcoin casino game, you've got to go very small position, very wide stop, and preferably in isolated. Okay, so you got to have very low margin as well. You got to give yourself breathing room because these things can squeeze quite a lot. Okay, this thing can squeeze 15-20% and absolutely liquidate you. Okay, so just be careful, but the moves to the downside are generally quite big after an explosion like this. So if you are looking for, if you want to have a crack at this thing, 166 into 175, 166 into 175. And I would say if you start candle closing above 187, okay, that is probably going to be your exit plan. And if you want to do this, you go little entry there, and a little entry just above that stop region, okay? And then you see if that plays out, and look out for that candle close. Above 187, probably a bad idea to start hanging on. They might come and absolutely punish you, okay? So that looks pretty decent to me. And then hopefully we get a nice dip here. So just remember, you've got quite a broad stop zone. That's why you ladder in and you go very small. And then the downside move, you're going to look for about a 20-30% drop on this thing. Okay, so there's 𝗵𝗴. I have no idea what it is. And then, okay, this was the one from earlier, OL, and it didn't hit the zone, unfortunately. So you can see this is typically what we're looking for. We want to pump it into these zones, and then we want to get a nice big drop to the downside. Okay, so we just play this game, and we try and focus it in these main areas. If we hit these main regions consistently, then we can get these nice big reversals. Okay, is the Trump USDT making cup and handles? I actually couldn't tell you here at the moment. I'm not looking at that chart, but let's talk ETH, and then let's talk altcoins. And obviously, Jay is going to give us some things. He's also going to give us AVNT. What else are you trading today? What do you got going on at the moment?
I've got a NASDAQ long, AVAX, and SAY, and I'm looking at that PHB as well.
Okay, so a NASDAQ long, that's quite fun. Now, guys, I mean, Jay does a lot of gold and NASDAQ trading in the Chart Hackers Discord. So we're not only shitcoin specialists, we're actually trading stocks in there as well. We got a lot of things going on. If you want to find out more, remember, trading is trading. Charts are charts, and these things do their thing. So we're going to look at Jay's setup just now, and lots of hackers shorted OL this morning, guys. But you front ran the big zone. Are you playing with fire? You're playing with fire. Ash Crypto says Russell 2000 has hit a new all-time high, and he doesn't say maybe ETH will be next. He says ETH will be next. Okay, so, well, there you go. It's in. It's locked in. It must be next. Okay, so ETH tends to follow this Russell. James loves to track the Russell, and he likes a bullish Russell. Generally tells us we're going to get a couple of bullish things happening. So let's talk about things. So yesterday, we hit quite a few of our bull zones on some of these altcoins. Some of them front ran a little bit, but a lot of alts hit some incredible areas. And I really hope some of you guys locked in a couple of trades. Now, the question is this sustainable? So you can see what's happening after that first rejection. what typically happens is you get your bounce on your various fib zones, and then sometimes you have to ride this trend all the way down, and obviously at one of these zones it eventually breaks the trend. But what you can do is you can trade all these areas, and right now you can see ETH dropped into the upper side of that box that I gave you guys yesterday, and that was our 4040 was the main region I wanted to see, but it dropped into that zone. I didn't pick up any extra orders on my ETH long. My orders are a little bit lower down, and I am just going to leave that for now in case they are going to sweat me. I am expecting volatility once again, and I don't want to ape in too hard right now at this sort of time in between the FOMC. So I'm trying to be super patient here, but I do have orders lower down for ETH in this region, and if they do come and sweat it, they will be picked up, and then hopefully we'll get that reversal round about this 3,960, and hopefully not too much lower. Okay, so as we stand now, you can see ETH on the 1 hour, it is turning over, but what can happen here, for example, is we can print some kind of bullish divergence, and that might obviously just depend on ETH coming to tap that fib over there for us at 4040. So that is on the table. It will be a bullish divergence print on the 1 hour if it does play out. So it is something to look forward to there, guys, on ETH. And then upside levels for you, if we get a pump into FOMC, you've got big danger zones here, guys. 4230, 4290. This is a possible rejection zone. This is a possible short zone here for you guys up there. Okay, you can see there's our first short zone. If they come through and they start exploding through that region, look for a wick into that zone. If we get a crazy pump tomorrow into FOMC, that could be a nice rejection zone for you guys. Okay, so and Brew993 wants to short Sonic to zero. I mean, I'm not against it as well. There's a lot we can actually send to zero here in the current space. Speaking of things that we can try and send to zero, possibly get liquid on, Litecoin, 𝗏, and Sol. How's this, guys? Top analyst, Bitwise. Sol ETF, their Sol ETF and Canary's 𝗏 and Litecoin ETF are set to start trading in the US. Now that started today, and Sol, James, is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. I thought that was today as well.
Is Sol today as well? Okay, so
I thought so, yeah.
So that obviously explains why Sol has been holding so nicely at resistance, and now it's finally just trickled over a little bit. So guys, I don't want to say this zone is out of the question. 194 to 191. This is my original bull zone from yesterday on Sol. So Sol was holding really nicely at resistance, obviously with this ETF news. And right now, I've got my eyes on this 194, now 191. It's the same level from yesterday. Let's let this thing bleed out. Look at that 2 hour. It looks like it could come a little bit lower here for us. We could get a bit more downside there on that 2 hour. So 194, 191 for Sol. That is my premium bull zone. Okay, I want to give you guys a 618 here just because we might get some volatility and you need to get a backup zone. Okay, so 187 is going to be your backup zone. If there is volatility, if things go a little bit crazy into FOMC, that is most likely a solid buy area there, 187. So 194, 191 is my preferred bounce zone. If the market pumps before, let's say it starts ripping, just like the ETH setup. Look at this. We've got a big zone here, 211 to 216, a very big rejection area. So let's say we lead into FOMC, things start exploding, no FOMO up here, leading into FOMC. It would be insanity leading into FOMC if the market is pumping to start max longing at a big resistance zone. So be super careful in those areas there if it does pump to the upside. Guys, remember all these charts go into the Chart Hackers Discord for you straight after the show. Okay, you'll have access to all of them. Now, I've got tons to talk about, but I don't want to take up too much of Muscle's time here. He's sitting here so patiently, and I think he's got a lot to offer us. So let's get you out the gates here quickly, Jay. What's on your plate here?
Well, we can give the person in the chats their AV in T trade if they like.
Let's do this. And Henderson says, "Damn, Asta is holding." Obviously, doesn't like Asta very much. Okay, so what do we got?
The one thing that I noticed with Asta, not Asta, Avantis, I think it is actually called. It's like literally this token is completely like washed out. It was so bullish a few weeks ago, and now I see that it's breaking structure all the way to the downside. The only problem with this token, guys, if you are trying to be bullish on it, rather be really bullish above 80 cents. This has actually broken the current low and the value area low. So this means that this token is now out of the trading range, and this wick up was the bearish retest into the value area low. So for now, I would try to only long it from the fair value gap of the 8865. So considering that we do have FOMC coming here, guys, I would try to attempt the long here and then the continuation up. You know, if it does lose this low, then there's no point to trying to catch the bottom on this trade. And other than that, it looks still very, very bearish. The you know, our anchor VWAPs from the all-time high are above here. And this is showing the momentum is to the downside. It's under POC, breaker structure, and under value area low, guys. Generally, when these tokens come out and they lose their lows, you know, they just go to zero eventually. Unfortunately, that is crypto, guys. So this will be the trade idea. I mean,
this is a DEX, guys, and if nobody's using it, they're not going to make money. So best that people start using this thing, and then it will have a reason to pump. This is why Hyperliquid always does so well, because they're making money. People are using them at the moment. Okay, so any final thoughts on this thing? So yeah, that's quite a big dip there for this guy. Okay, so,
yeah, it's still quite a big dip. Yeah, so for me, I would be trying to attempt it. It is sitting on the 618, but if you do look at our indicator here on the 8 hour, you can see the 8 hour still got a lot of room to go to the downside. So yeah, for me, a little bit bearish at the moment, guys. I'll wait for the fair value gap max extension to try and get the smallest stop loss possible if you're trying to take this on a leverage trade. For spot, I would prefer to take this token on a spot trade rather than leverage, because your stop to the downside is more than probably 10%.
Okay, now give us your Nasdaq situation. For those of you
the
guys
Nasdaq.
that don't, yeah, I mean, because I actually cover the S&P all the time, guys, and I cover some stocks. But if you want to scalp the Nasdaq with size, come into the chart hackers. Jay does this live 2 or 3 days a week. He's trading this stuff live. So give us a little setup here. Let's see what you got here.
Sure. Yeah. So let's just show you the Nasdaq trade. So at the moment, it is still pumping crazy. And obviously, we do long the top in chart hackers in live trading, guys, on Monday and Wednesday. In New York, we have around 350 people, and we trade 5 different assets all at the same time on one screen. So we trade BTC, Ethereum, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, either Euro USD or gold as well, right? So we're trading 5 assets simultaneously.
Absolute sickos in there. Okay, if you're mentally disturbed, okay, come and do that with the boys and the girls.
I mean, it's really fun, and it's the only time you're going to have a threesome without your wife moaning.
Okay, what's going on here, bro?
What are we looking at the Nasdaq? So at the moment, I'm going to wait for the big long. I do believe that we will have some sort of flush towards the FOMC. So here, obviously, Nasdaq, guys, pushing all-time high, and my target is still 26,350 max extension on the Nasdaq. But we do have this major gap over here, like a CME, and these do generally get filled at some particular point. But everyone is waiting, so they're just going to keep grinding. But when FOMC does happen, this asset moves like Popcats. You know, when a huge liquidation event does happen, this will come back down eventually to our beautiful hacker zone here, 618. This is also value area high, and we have an amazing huge order block sitting right here. This is also the anchored VWAP from the low, and this SMA is the 4-hour 50. So I use the 4-hour on the 50 because in this bullish environment, there's no ways you can use the daily. So I use this to track momentum to the upside, and this is going to be my entry for the Nasdaq, guys. So it'll be 25,220. So on our 618 there, beautiful horizontal support here. When they do dip into the zone, I'll be taking the long all the way back up, and this can be a great swing trade for you to hold, right? So you can hold this on. How big is that?
Yeah, how big? What percent is this drop here?
The drop from here to here
your entry,
is around 2.7% on the Nasdaq.
Okay, so it looks a little bit dramatic, but at the end of the day, it's only 2%. They can do that in a day, basically. So, yeah, that could be good. That could be a really nice support buy as well. And that does make sense, guys. If we start bleeding into the FOMC, there could be a nice opportunity brewing there. And I mean, I would expect the market to de-risk into a major event. That's generally what we could expect there. So yeah, let's see. Blue Vader says Jay's live trading sessions are the best, guys. Come and play around. You'll see what it's all about. It's a little bit fast fast-paced, okay? But the guys are having fun there. And Slothman says disgusting. So that's a good start. Disgusting is a good thing in the chart hack.
Got the shirt. Yeah, we got disgusting shirts on tonight.
There we go. Okay, so let's jump into a couple of more alts, and then Jay's gonna prep one or two others here for us as well. I want to talk to you guys about HBAR and Litecoin quickly, and then we really have to cover things like Hyperliquid, Virtual. I've got some news on Syrup and Aave, funnily enough, and then there's a couple of other tokens that I want to update. So we got basically a bumper show here. So, lock in, and I'm going to jump through these alts as quickly as I can here for you guys. Now, let's talk HBAR first. So we saw obviously the news out is the ETFs. Okay, so generally what happens is they pump into these big rejection zones or big resistance zones, and then you can see there's a little bit of a sell-off. Okay, so at the moment, this is what has happened to HBAR over here, and you can see this is generally quite a big rejection zone. So if there was going to be a bit of a de-risking event in the market, this makes reasonable sense to me. We've been pumping into this thing. Everybody's assuming this ETF is going to absolutely fly. And now we've hit a typical undercarriage 618 rejection zone. And for me, this is a possible short area here, at least while we de-risk into the FOMC, if we do de-risk into the FOMC. So if you want to play a hedge, like for me, I'm jumped into an HBAR short. This looks like a reasonable zone here to have a go. So anything up to 216, up to about 222, that could be a nice rejection zone. So let them come back and fill some of this wick, and then you can start growing a little bit of short, and hopefully then we get some kind of pullback on this guy, and they just bring it down to a reasonable zone where we can start longing this thing again. Okay, so right now, if you're looking for an exit play on this thing, if it does pump up, obviously try and get it as high as possible. When they come and clean out this wick, you really want to grab it as tight as you can to the upside. And, sometimes one way you can manage that is just by laddering into your position. So don't ape full clip in the first zone. What you want to do is maybe just grab, one or two entries up there. And if there's a candle close above that wick high, that is generally a good exit plan. Okay, so if you get a candle close above, say 2214, that's probably an exit plan there for you guys. But short term could be a little dip here on this HBAR, and then very much the same thing. You see, we pretty much overcooked on that 12, and then very much the same thing with Litecoin. Okay, the news was out at the moment, and these things, they all operate in similar fashion. Look at that. They pumped into what have they done? Into horizontal resistance, and here we go, 618 50-day MA, and we've got a little rejection. So same game plan here on Litecoin. If we get a little second win today, that could be a little hedge short opportunity here for you guys. Again, just manage your risk, manage your sizing. Remember, we are going to get messed around here into this FOMC, but we cannot ignore these big rejection zones. Okay, so Litecoin 104 to 107, danger zone for me. Let's see if that does play out. That 12-hour is looking a little bit bearish there to me as well. So let's see how that goes. Okay, now in terms of a couple of things I've got going on, there's the HBAR short that I started there. There's pump. I front ran the area. I'm going to talk to you guys about that one. They absolutely ballhead our box, James. And I don't know if you've ever had your box ball head, but that's what they did. And we'll talk you guys through that. What are you laughing at, bro? There's Sui head short in play. Brett Long, it hit our zone that I covered yesterday. Super Long hit the zone I covered yesterday. Say, I actually don't even know what happened here. I kind of woke up and I was in a bigger size on Say, and it feels like the hangover or something. XRP still running the short. Sol got that short running there, as you can see. Hype, no changes. Taken a little bit more profit, then added some more, then taken profit. So it's kind of dancing around. Virtual, I added a little bit more earlier today, then clipped some off again. You can see this thing's been good to me. 8,400 bank there, 1,980 left in the tank. Pump long, again, no reason to close that one. ETH has been decent, trying to grow size on that. And then the Bitcoin short that I've now added to. So this is the same short from yesterday. I've just added a bit more to that position. Nice hedge play if we do roll over a little bit. So right now, a little bit of a mixed bag at the moment while I wait to get messed around, basically leading into FOMC. And PMG, Rogers Anderson 9426 says, Brett, short and long printed me at the same day. That's a good result. Dizzy Gang says, Aero, I've got. John Ploy says his fart's rolling over. That thing bounced very nicely, guys. I've got a couple of things here. But let's quickly jump into hype. No changes from yesterday. Look at this degen bounce zone. Guys, remember that 236 is all fun and games until it stops working. But there it is. Okay, so your 236 fib, 45.8. Look at that, 50-day MA combo. And what you can do is you can keep buying this area until it fails. At some point, it will fail. Like one of these sides is going to break at some point, and then we have to sort of plan what happens next. But right now, if you break to the upside, guys, rejection zone on hype for me, 50.7. If you break to the downside, this is your buy zone there, 43.67. 41.9. This is your buy zone here on hype. So if we get weakness into FOMC, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, you can buy that fear while it's falling over. Look at that, beautiful. If you get a 10 to 12% dump into FOMC on hyperliquid, that is a buy zone for me. Okay, so be patient with this thing. It looks really good. Like really, I love buying this thing when the market flips, because the traders come back, it prints money, and people buy this thing. Okay, it's a nice play. Do you trade this hype much, Jay?
Yeah, sure. I really do. I've kind of swapped my 𝗬𝗰. You know, whenever the market dumps, I used to long Sol and 𝗬𝗰 right together, and now I've actually switched from 𝗬𝗰 to hype. Now it's been a much better performer for me.
I've still got the disease where I automatically long 𝗬𝗰. I like automatically long every single time. 𝗬𝗰, Sol, 𝗬𝗏, I sometimes have a crack, but like, yeah. There's definitely better performers than 𝗬𝗰 at the moment. Hype is obviously part of the list. I long hype, I long pump, I long 𝗬𝗰, a couple of other things. But yeah, these are my go-to plays. But there, guys, that looks like the best setup I can muster here for hype at the moment. Let's talk pump. And did they front run the area? So yesterday, I put quite a lot of thought into this one with James. We were putting our when entry together for the Chart Hackers Discord. And the when entry is basically what happens every day is I pick a high conviction setup that I have high confidence in working out. And I give you an entry, a stop loss, and 2 or 3 TP zones, and you can set and forget. So those of you that are busy and you don't want to go through all the noise, which can happen in the Discord, because we got 8 traders dropping alpha non-stop, you can just go into the when entry section and plug in the trade that I set after every day. So pump was obviously one of them, and this is a big rejection zone that I had my eyes on, but I wanted to see the second push into the area. So this area was this 54 region into about 55, and if we look at the when entry, there it is, and you can see that zone is still in play for me. But what I'm loving here, and I don't know if they're going to give it to us, but look at these spider webs here. Look at this. That is looking so rough. Oh, Jay's gone. Let's get Jay back. There he is. That is looking so rough here on the 2 hour in terms of divergences printing. So I was kind of waiting for this box to get triggered. And as it pushed up, I didn't know if I was in the box or not earlier. And as it pushed up, I took a small position on this pump. But I'm still holding faith that it can go into our zone. So, guys, there is an entry here, 526 or 522 into 5.5, 522 into 5.5. That is the when entry from yesterday. If the market rips into FOMC, this could be a great area here. This could be a great rejection zone. I remind you, look at that higher time frame. This is the daily, massive areas here. Macro 382, 50-day trend. There's a lot going on here for pump. Okay, so this is sitting in the Chart Hackers Discord here for you guys in the when entry section. Okay, so there it is. You go into my channel and there's when entry waiting for you guys. Okay, and then I do send updates there during the day, and it will be there for you guys. Okay, so just be patient there. Then in terms of 𝗬𝗰, what happened? Drops into the zone yesterday, into the bull zone. Now I've been covering a lot lately about these bull zones, and it's a really simple game plan here. What you can do is you track your VWAP from your local lows or your macros or your macro lows. You bang out your 382, your 0.5 fib. You try and tie it in with some order blocks, and if you get a combination of about 2 or 3 of those items, then things are looking good for some kind of continuation bounce. I've been calling them the bull zone, and it seems to be sticking here. And this bull zone is generally this region between the 382, the 0.5, and that VWAP. And generally, it's responsive. So 𝗬𝗰 dropped into our bull zone. They gave us that bounce yesterday. One of my orders picked up. I didn't get all of them. Let's just take a look here. Let's see which one actually missed. I think I missed the low one. Okay, there. The low one's waiting, 2.52. Okay, so I still got an order waiting there for 𝗬𝗰. And the plan is, obviously, any bleed outs into FOMC, we come and we pick that one up. Okay, so letting it sweat if we need to. And that is going to be the buy zone. So 𝗬𝗰 252, that's your big support at the moment. That is where I've got another buy waiting. Hopefully, they're not going to send us much deeper than that. And then you can see our oscillator here. If they do come and print a new low, which would be a dip into that 2.52, this should give us bullish divergence here as well on the oscillator and possibly a nice bounce. Okay, Leonardo really wants to do something with S here at the moment. Jay, what else is cooking there? I've got so many tokens here, and I'm sure you've got tons to offer us as well. Yeah. So
I was just looking at AVAX maybe and say, but I'm currently looking at this PHB coming into a short zone. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let's get our PHB and oof.
So I mean, let me just switch off this indicator here, so it's a little bit cleaner. But I mean, looking at this, guys, I mean, what a beautiful pattern, and then the breakout. So it is coming into resistance right now, and you see this little wick here. So this is actually the 8-hour bearish order block here, and the 786 from this high over here to the low. So I'm looking for kind of that fake out of the trend, maybe, and then hit this zone, and then fall back into our zone over here. So if you are looking for, I see that everyone in the chat is talking about this token. But guys, just remember, when you are trying to short things, always remember to trade them at max extension. What I find is that people try to short tokens because they generally miss the long. They're not actually shorting them at resistance. So if you guys miss the long, that doesn't mean you should automatically short a token straight away. You should rather be waiting for those big fib levels, 786s and trends, anchored VWAPs, that type of thing, the 200-day SMA, as Dylan loves as well. But looking at this, guys, this looks like a really nice short zone, 83.90. Maybe you would even want to start up a small position now, and then one more position at the 786 here. If it does start to close back above the zone, then you are wrong in the short, and they're going to press all the way back up into the big zone, which will be that $1.718 over here. So this is the big short zone.
I'm going to set this on 𝗏𝗏 here. What is my limit order? Like, I don't want to go now. I want to catch it when it hits that top zone of yours, not the top zone. The
786. Yeah. So this one here, guys, is
83.7 or what was
77. Yeah. So that's that half of this wick, and that's the exact 8-hour bearish order block as well. And then the other one is very far, guys. There's no ways you will hold a stop loss. That block is 30% away, right? So do not hold the trade until there. Rather cut the trade, you're wrong, and then re-enter again around that $1. So that, guys, I would give it maybe around a 4% stop loss if you like for your short trade.
Okay, I've got 8377 locked in, and then I'm going to run a 4% stop on this guy. I'm doing it on 𝗏𝗏, guys. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. I've just preset a limit order on 𝗏𝗏. So I preset a limit sell order, and then I'm still waiting for that BCH short order to hit from yesterday. I think we got pretty close, but we haven't pinged that one just yet. Okay, so BCH, I think we were at it was 580 or it was 480. It's just around the corner, whatever that number was on BCH that it's floating around. And then there's 8377. So let's see if we can catch this one. And MyQuest wants to talk about COAI. I mean, it's not my best to talk about that thing, actually. I think there's better plays.
It's really hard. It's really hard to trade. Yeah, it doesn't respect levels. It goes up and down whenever it feels like it. It is one of the highest funding rated and open interest tokens I've ever traded. So, guys, it moves like it's 50% in a day. And if you're wrong and you don't have a stop loss, then I feel a lot of pain coming your way.
Rather just trade simpler shit like PHB. Okay, no, I mean, not a good example, but yeah, I mean, you know the shit. We literally call it the RSI heat map casino. But we got a bit of a strategy, and it seems to be working relatively well in the current framework. Okay, so there's a PHB. Now, guys, I want to give you very quickly. I want to give you ENA, and I still don't know why I'm trading this absolute shitcoin. It just annoys me at the moment. And then I've got a fartcoin update for you guys as well. And the Bitfunded, guys, that trade that I took yesterday for Injective, that I fat fingered it. I passed my second stage on the Bitfunded demo account. So now I'm just going through a nominal process. I'm trading a $200 Bitcoin position to get through the trading days. Okay, so there's a stage 2. So that's going to be now a funded account. So that's going to be a real money account for me on Bitfunded, and that'll go with my existing real money account here. That is got $486 of profit in, okay, at the moment. So if you want to trade with other people's money, you can try Bitfunded. It's essentially a prop funded trading situation. They're going to give you a demo account. You make 8%, then you make 5%, and then they give you real money to trade with, and you keep 80% of the profits. There is also a one trade demo that you can do. It's a slightly different fee structure, but you can do it, and it's a slightly bigger move. For that, I think it's about a 10% move they want to see, and then they give you a funded account immediately. So if you want to play that, the link is in the show description. You just go into the show, you click on more. Okay, let's find the show. There it is. And you click on more under the show, and you're going to find every single thing I talk about, from the indicators to the Hackers Discord, to the Accelerator course where you can learn my TA, to all the exchanges. There's WeX, there's Gravity, Bybit, Blowfin, BTCC, Pionex is here, BitGet, and Bitfunded is sitting there for you guys. Now, I've got news on BitGet. They are coming on board and as one of our partners, and they're going to offer a couple of fun things, especially for the Chart Hackers members. I'm arranging you guys a couple of fun things. So hang in there. BitGet are going to sort you out, and they are launching gold trading. And I know that's piqued Jay's interests. So yeah, we're going to get that coming in hot for you guys. Let's go Fartcoin. Okay. Oh, and ENA. So just briefly, Fartcoin still holding the bull zone, the local bull zone. So we had two zones yesterday. Local bull zone is this 39 region. We're still holding that. Again, no reason to close. If you are sitting in this thing chopping around, you can see that 39 is your support zone. If they start sweating us during or leading into FOMC, guys, look for longs 373. Okay, you can see your VWAP is creeping up a little bit here, but look for longs 373 on Fartcoin. Then I've got ENA. This is an interesting one. Actually, just an annoying shitcoin for me, really. I don't know how I got myself involved in this ENA, and I'm almost back to cutting this position. Let's see, where am I at the moment? Where's this thing? Where's this thing? Maybe it's been cut. If I was close to it, well, then I'm out of it. Okay, little asshole. Well, there it is. So exactly what I predicted. Okay, so guys, ENA, I'm glad I'm out of this ENA, actually. But here we go. Here's a possible buy zone for you guys. Here's the 200-day moving average. Bang. Here's our local VWAP. Bang. Here's our trend line as well. So if there's a medium bleed out here, there could be a bounce. Those of you, I see some in the chats who are in an ENA short, 475. That is going to be a possible bounce zone. So just exercise a bit of caution there. And in terms of the oscillator, the 4-hour could go a little bit lower. So you might get a small bounce, and then they could dip you guys a little bit lower here on ENA. Okay, so that is your first bounce zone, 475 down to 46. That is a possible bounce zone. And then in terms of backup areas, look at this. We've got our major VWAP from the lows. Okay, that is our macro one at 0.44. Okay, so there's your backup zone, 0.44. There's a macro VWAP there for you guys for a possible bounce on this ENA. Okay, I'm so please make me never trade ENA again, James. Please do something for me. Just
trying to remember
ban
that.
it.
It used to be really good though. ENA was great.
It did. Now it's dog shit. It's so frustrating. I mean, I've basically round tripped. I couldn't find my trade. I think it's gone. Okay, let's talk about base ecosystem. Now, there's been a lot of talk about base lately. Things like Brett, things like Aero. What are the other base options out there? But things are looking good on that front. I think they were even doing things on virtual on this base. So Aerodrome's an interesting one, guys, and this could be a possible higher time frame breakout play or something like that if we do start popping through some big levels. You can see this is our daily downtrend, and you can see there's a lot of trend pressure at the moment. So if this thing does actually explode, you're going to be looking at targets at like 1.04, 1.11, 1.19. Okay, so how do you get there? There's a possible invitation to the next area, and I've broken it down into the 2-hour time frame for you guys. And just another example, look at this bull zone from yesterday, VWAP 382 bang, getting hit for the bounce. And what you're doing is you want to play this thing step by step, because your next target is going to be that region up there, 1.07 and 1.04. You can see that is your next possible target. So if you are going to get a breakout here on this arrow, you're going to nibble at this thing, and you're most likely going to get the rejection, and then you're going to look to add onto buys at around this 95 region. Okay, so if you're feeling bullish on this arrow, you don't ape full clip at resistance, because it's a one-way ticket to liquidation. Okay, you nibble at that area, and then when you get the pop, what you can do is you can start buying it when they bring it back. So what I want to show you guys here is there's a VWAP resistance as well, and that's going to play an important part. So if we do break through that, you want to use that VWAP resistance as your support later on. Okay, so it's a bit of a little bit of planning and buying that goes into the stuff. But if you're looking for that pop, again, nibble small amount. Your real test is going to be when they bring the price back into that region. And if the bulls don't step in 95, 94, that type of region, then this trade probably fails, and they're sending you a little bit lower down. So if you want to watch an arrow, you want to try and catch a breakout, you can see bigger picture here. It is trying something here, so pay attention. There could be something happening. And then in terms of Brett, we just front ran our buy zone yesterday, 0029. Look at that bull zone, 0.5 VWAP coming to play with a trend. Again, you know, FOMC around the corner. This doesn't necessarily mean that was the bottom. This could just simply be a lower high, and they might even come and try this for us leading into tomorrow. So anybody trading Brett 29, use that for now. This is going to be your main support region. If they do sweat us down, let's just see the size of the move. It's probably about 6%. So that is a very nice dip in the market. If we can get 6% out of Brett, and then you're going to look to tee up some kind of long there, and that'll be a nice tap onto that fib at 291. So that'll be a nice possibility there for you guys. And then you can see that 2-hour oscillator will also then print some divergence for us as well. So it could be a healthy little move, a 6% here on this Brett. Okay, XRP still short. I can't tell you if this thing's going to explode or not. Look, FOMC, they're going to explode it. If the FOMC is bullish, they're going to kill us. So anyone short, guys, like my game plan's the same. Jay, are you touching this thing? What do you think's happening?
XRP, I mean, yeah. I did have a little long on it, but, you know, I normally don't trade it because the move is so small. But, I mean, a good short on it would be great. I mean, why not send it back to where it came from?
I just love shorting this thing. Okay, so look, guys, your rejection zones, 269, 276. I said yesterday, if we start closing above that 277, I'm out. Okay, like I'll take my medicine. I'll apologize to James. I'll apologize to the XRP army. And I told you guys, there's a new channel coming. It's going to be the daily XRP short. And I'm basically going to give XRP shorts every single day.
Just every day we try. Eventually we're going to get it right.
I can't wait. I actually can't wait. Okay, so guys, no changes for me. I'm staying short on XRP. Let's see what happens. Super hit the zone I gave you yesterday for the bounce. Look at that bull zone. VWAP 0.5 horizontal. 395. Okay, so I'm in super, hoping this thing holds. Again, if it dips a little bit, you probably get a divergence play. So no changes for super. 395. IMX, the short, I didn't get the short, unfortunately, but I did give you guys this one on the show yesterday. 8% dip. And again, you can short this thing until it breaks above that 200-day moving average. So if it does pump back into 55, 56, probably another short opportunity there for you guys until proven otherwise. Trump, shitcoin, massive rejection. Look at that. It ball head that stop loss yesterday, but it was a good result in the end. And then the last one I've got here, my God, we got a lot of tokens here. Jeez, there's a lot of tokens. ETHFi, guys, 96. If you want to have a crack here, order block 786. Let's see if it holds that zone. 96 is where it's at. If it can hold, let's see what happens there. I was talking about this one with Chaos yesterday. And hopefully he got his eyes in over there on that 96. Let's see if it comes again. Okay, guys, that is everything. We've unloaded a lot on you guys for over an hour again. We got to keep these things a little bit shorter. Big day tomorrow, FOMC. Then we're trading it live later on, while they're doing it, while the speech is going. So that's going to be fun. Jay, Thank you, sir. You can find live trading action in the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Discord with Jay. He's trading the Nasdaq. He's trading gold. He's what did you call that thing? A 5-sim. What did you call that?
Yeah,
thing?
we have a 5-sim. Yeah, so it'll be tomorrow night at New York. It'll be really fun because I mean, with FOMC, it'll just gonna be absolute madness. So make sure you bring extra underpants.
There you go. Extra pair of undies. James, if you're not in a red or a green shirt tomorrow, I'm not even pulling you up on the screen. I'm just telling you.
Okay. I guess everyone's going to miss me tomorrow because there's no call and direction until we hear what
gotta
Jay
call
Pearl's
it
got to say.
direct.
No shirt, no shirt, no shirt.
You got to call a direction because 50% of the time you could be right every time. Think about
But that's always the case. But tomorrow's the worst day to try and pick a direction ever.
Pick a direction, James.
No.
Everyone will forget. It's fine.
Everyone will forget. On the fence.
Okay, boys. Thank you. See you later. Guys, good luck out there. Again, it's going to be a stressful environment. They are going to put you under pressure. So if you want to sit on the sidelines, go for it. Okay, you might miss a couple of moves and things like that. If you want to play the game, play the big zones, play the high percentage areas. Don't fuck around in between. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. Play the big zones. Okay, if we're pumping into it, we're looking for shorts. If we're dumping into it, we're looking for longs. I'll sort you out in the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Discord, and I'll see you live tomorrow as well. Okay, good luck. See you later. Oh.